Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dice the milk up regularly while talking about niche internet communities, general topics I might feel, even sketchbook tours, and art stuff. Because I do as I feel, and it's the general vibe of it. I mean, y'all are along for the ride, and I'm along for the ride. I'm just gonna bring this up, and we're not gonna talk about it again, but I apologize for my voice. Not many of y'all know this, but the week that I'm posting this is Tech Week for the musical that I'm in, and I am in stage crew. Oh my god, look at me. And I just had my last ever winter percussion competition. So I was screaming my head off, like very excited, all that jazz. And this is the only time this week I'm going to be able to film this video. So you deal with deeper voiced me. This is also me with I consumed a scary amount of honey and throat coat. So this is the good stuff. This is it when it's good. But we're gonna dive right into the video soon. But I'm gonna give some context first for this. But this, as known on Instagram, is known as The Brick. The Brick was a sketchbook that I found in Walmart. I thought originally it would probably weighed like 3 pounds. It was a thick sketchbook. But the moment I saw that, I was like, you know what? As soon as I finish number 10, I'm gonna call this one The Brick, and I am going to just destroy it. That was my absolute goal. And it was 120 pages of just pure insanity. And I'm excited to show y'all. I'm very excited. So we'll dive right into the video. But I do apologize. This is my most censored sketchbook. Well, I mean, there are 120 pages. We have a lot of content to go off of, but I do have to censor a lot of stuff because some of it is very personal art. Some of it only art colleges get to see. And other stuff is ideas for the future, which I will be excited to show you guys in the far future. But this is more like 5 years down the line, I've got big plans kind of shit. Y'all understand what I'm talking about, hopefully. If not, I don't understand either. So, but let's get right into the sketchbook then. We won't hold back too much. But this is going to be a long video. So grab your drink. If you're a fellow artist, which you probably are, click on the video. Grab your sketchbook and get inspired with me. Because this is... And if you see anything that you're like, I want to do that with my sketchbook, you can use it. Just, I don't know, if don't claim it as your own, which I don't think I claim any of my tips as my own, but you get the point. Always credit artists. But okay, let's dive right into it. So as y'all know, this is number 11, and there's good old David Bowie on the front. Yeah, that hand didn't age well. And I actually got Mod Podge, so this is gonna be like my sketchbooks from here on out have a solid cover. But originally this is actually, you can see it poking under, it's actually just paper, and it was pretty thin printer paper, because this is a Walmart sketchbook. I did destroy it pretty well, but also there's some beef I have with it. But so that's why if you're like, I want that sketchbook, oh, I don't know, I would recommend. But also, I don't know, it depends on how you like your paper texture, because I think the paper is around 110 pounds, which I got it for $15, which is incredibly cheap for the paper amount, but it works well. Oh, I moved my camera. I mean my phone. But it works well. It's just, I don't know if it's me like destroying the sketchbook, but it's not too durable, as you can see right here. Like, it is destroyed. But also, like, again, take that with a grain of salt, because I'm a little rougher with my sketchbooks. Like, I had to put a rule in the sketchbook, which you will see in a second, that I wasn't allowed to throw the sketchbook down the stairs, because that's where I had problems with my last sketchbook. And I did have problems with another one that I threw out a window. It's a good way to get out of art block and like get out of your head, but it's something. So we got good old David Bowie. Oh, I think I have to see. I'm just censoring some stuff, but yeah, again, sorry, there's a lot of censoring, but yeah. So as you can see, this is going to be very hard to read because of my lighting, but this was from January 8th, 2023 to March 31st, 2023. And my rules: do not throw it down the stairs. Oh yeah, looking at this camera, it's a little harder to read. Also, my handwriting's all over the place, so do with that as you will. Experiment, never get comfortable. Yeah, I didn't have too many hyperfixations because I have like a general interest on music, and I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth between artists. Like, I've been starting to get into Elvis more. Oh my god, this is bothering me. You know what? It's oh lovely. Ooh, you're seeing some behind the scenes stuff, but we're gonna deal with it, y'all. We will make do. But I actually I've been listening to Elvis. I listened to Pink Floyd recently. I still want to explore their discography. The Beatles, Billy Idol, Dexter's Midnight Runners, that general vibe. The Clash, of course, David Bowie, Queen, Elton John. But yeah, I've just had a general interest in music. I swear, I could talk about music for hours. But let's see, my goals, which you can take this to your interpretation, but I think I accomplished most of these goals. I low-key want to throw this lamp, but also it is good lighting. It is damn good lighting for an amateur YouTuber. But I want to become one of those gouache artists. I wanted to learn better anatomy, experiment, get over 100 YouTube subscribers. Y'all made that goal a reality. Again, thank you. This is me blowing you a little kiss. Mwah. And get into art college. Don't give a fuck what people think, and learn how to paint. Oh yeah, and I wanted to finish this before graduation. And the crazy part is, when I first started this, I only had 37 subscribers. And I mean, the channel, it hasn't grown tremendously, but compared to where it was, it's grown. Here's some, I wanted to check out the texture of the paper, because this paper is weird and sometimes it actively repels gouache. Okay, that's the one beef that I have with this paper. Which honestly, I've made some pretty big pieces of artwork for my portfolio. And it's incredible what I did with this quality of paper. Because I mean, you can tell it's thick paper, but it's not textured. It's all smooth. Which, as long as you do a thin layer of gouache, or do that more watercolor-esque version of gouache over it, it actually works very well. And it also works well if you lay down gouache like acrylic paint. But so as you can tell, we got David Bowie, because of course I started it on Bowie's birthday. I remember on this today, all I ended up doing was, I am gonna fight this lamp for the next couple hours. Wait. I'm still gonna fight this lamp for the next couple hours, but it's gonna be a little easier. Okay, there we go. I apologize for not the perfect frame, but you know, we do things. But I celebrated it by, I did a makeup look inspired by the Life on Mars music video, and I watched a bunch of David Bowie interviews, because I always found that when I watch David Bowie interviews, it really like inspires me and it really connects me to him, because there's just something about him. I can kind of explain it, but he inspires me, and he inspires me to be a better person, and he inspires me to do my goals like YouTube and art school and all this stuff. And just hearing his story and everything makes me realize the sky's the limit. Because, I don't know, I would hope that I could be that figure one day to people in the future, but that's like the far, far future. So I'll tell it to you, my fine singular viewers. Do what you love. Because ever since I started doing what I loved back in December, it makes life so much easier and so enjoyable. And honestly, it's not about the goal at the end of life. It's about the journey. Because it's so dystopian how society has shifted towards thinking about money and all that stuff, which we need it to survive. But money doesn't bring happiness. I know this sounds so cliche, but it really doesn't. And stuff doesn't bring happiness too. It's this experience. It's these going off the deep ends and not feeling like you're quite touching the ground and exploring and seeing what the world has to offer. That is what life is about. I'm just realizing I just got really existential over a gouache painting of David Bowie on his birthday. But you know, it's what David Bowie does to me. Now y'all can see like a little bit of my passion about David Bowie, because I might eventually make some videos about him, but it's just, I don't know. It's something that inspires me. But again, do what you love. And it will be easy. Well, it won't be easy, but you get what I'm talking about. It will be easier than working a 9 to 5, unless you love working a 9 to 5. Then good for you. But looking disproportionately wise scares the shit out of me. This one isn't too bad, but this one just scares the shit out of me. It's like, bro, why is your face so big? Why is like the triangle of proportions so big? Ugh. Okay. Ooh, next thing, this is a planning page. I think for a couple like art portfolios I had to submit a planning page, but this is actually how I plan my art out. It's mostly thumbnails, but it's more like chaotic process. Like, oh, here's where my like to-do lists, because this was back when because let's see, I think during like December and January break, I would draw for like 4 hours a day and just art. Or I would like research about art, or I would just consume media and I would just art. And so here was me like looking into the anatomy of teeth, like how do teeth work? Like, what are these parts behind them? The roots of the teeth, the crowns, like the different like legs almost of the teeth and how they fit into mouths. And so this is the thumbnails and planning process behind, what is it called? Oh, I literally just named it teeth. What the hell? I don't know, on something in my art portfolio, I had this artistic name. Though now I'm realizing since teeth falling out in dreams signifies stress, I think I subconsciously did that. That's not how I intended it to be. I have like this whole long written up thing about all the artistic meaning behind it. But originally at the time I was like, yo, wouldn't it be cool if someone's teeth was falling out? That's how a lot of my art sounds. I mean, like, yeah, I think it's very cool for art to be very artistic. But sometimes it can just start as, I like drawing teeth. Oh yeah, here's the anatomy. I actually did really challenge myself with this because it's such a strange angle, as we'll see. And like the hands especially, like, I can kind of do it. It's very awkward, but like pulling at the mouth, and I had to figure out if I wanted to like thumbs, if it's going to be someone else's hands, which why it was doing that. Or like their own. You get, like, it was just a lot of, I actually have a bunch of reference photos of myself just pulling my mouth back and looking up, looking down, looking to the side, looking sad, but it's part of the process. As you can see over here, here's my, like, planning stuff, because I'm like, okay, how am I going to pull this off? How am I going to get this perspective right? Because it's such a difficult and weird perspective. I think this one is, like, getting there on the cusp of it, but it's just about like pushing myself and being like, hey, just try this. Like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but if it does, hey, it does. Oh my god, and here's my good friend Laddie. Oh my, here's some little sketches of them. Oh my god, I really like that little face. It's so cute. But yeah, little Laddie sketches. I like them. Laddie looks like a tired parent in that one. But I love this one. It's so cute. And the little stars. Like, look. Bro reminds me of stars. That's our little thing. Okay. Ooh, my god. This is another shocker, but more David Bowie. Okay, we have... I swear to god. I'm again, warning you. Filming late at night, so... brain processing might be a little delayed. Thin White Duke. That one's from Life on Mars. And that one, I believe it's Ziggy. I'm not like 100% sure, but it looks like Ziggy. I think that's from The Man Who Fell to Earth. That one is Halloween Jack. Good old Ashes to Ashes. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Y'all will see what this is eventually, but I don't know why it's poking through. And good old Aladdin Sane, which I have so much trouble drawing Aladdin Sane for some reason. But it was on David Bowie's death day. And actually, I think, while drawing these, yeah, I was listening to not Lazarus. I actually quoted it wrong on an essay I wrote about existentialism and learning. But I quoted the album as Lazarus, but it's technically Black Star. But I was listening to Black Star because I decided the first time that I wanted to listen to Black Star was on Bowie's death day. And that album, I have to say, the first listen through doesn't hit that hard. But every time I hear those songs after, I just have such a visceral reaction to this music. There's just something about it that's so bone-chillingly morbid, yet so interesting and intriguing how it captures being a human. Sammy getting, oh my god, y'all, it's like 11 o'clock at night. It's not even crackhead hours. Like, why am I getting existential? Anyways, Bowie! Look at it. I said, warm-up sketches while listening to Black Star. Yeah, these are not good warm-up sketches. Oh my god, actually, I might want to do that in the future. Someone eating a bowl of teeth. I think that's where I was like, you know what, I'll do this. But as you can see, this is very hard not to see, but I can see there's like chin area definitely needs to be bigger in hindsight, because I think this is like 2 months old. But it was another ink and fine liner, which my fine liners are destroyed. Well, mainly my, I think, 0. What? I'm not sure. Or 0.5 or 0.01? Again, I am very bad with remembering this kind of stuff. But teeth. And I need to use my ink more. I stopped using it because, okay, we're keeping this between you and me, but I accidentally spilled ink all over my carpet, and it was not a fun time cleaning up. Also, ink stains so much, and I used to I would like, after doing, oh, big yawn. After doing these pieces, I would go to swim practice with like ink all down my legs, and people would be like, why is there ink on you? And I would be like, guess whose camera got launched? Oh, we're fixing this. Oh my god. Okay, getting back into this. But that was loud. But I will like, my coaches would ask me like, why is there ink all down your legs? And I'd be like, art. Am I right? Okay. Yeah, I literally just titled it teeth. I guess you can call it a blank page right here, but since it's like a singular piece, I wanted it to just be preserved. But this is some gouache. Ooh. Oh my god, it smells like hairspray. I swear to god, is this sketchbook just radiating hairspray? I'm gonna fix the camera a little. But there's something about it. It wafts hairspray. Y'all are lucky because it is strong as hell. God, feels like I'm inhaling hairspray. But this is like gouache practice, because I don't, at the time I didn't quite understand gouache, but I also think my gouache hadn't dried out yet, and I think it's, with my style of gouache, or like the style I have adapted to use, it's a bit easier for me to use them when my gouache is all dried out, because I don't have to worry about like picking up too much paint or having like the paint be like liquid. You know what I'm talking about, like gel-like. I mean, it's literally jelly gouache. Okay. Oh yeah, this one. Actually, this is, oh, I forgot to mention, teeth right here, portfolio piece. I'm gonna mention that every time I have one. This is a portfolio piece, which this is like more like, oh my god, look at this. I can draw landscapes. Okay, moving the camera back up. I'm sorry that I moved the camera so much. I swear, I will get a tripod one day, I promise. Okay, but I love like just the texture, especially with like the contrasting like elements of like brown and then blue. There's just something about it that just looks so cool, and it's so like simplistic too. And I love like, I don't know, just how the paint is laid down, like that is painted. And I should try this more I should try this more now, because I understand my painting technique a little bit better, but there's just something about it. And it picks up so well on, oh, you keep on moving, I see you. And it picks up so well online and on the camera, because the colors are just so vibrant. And this is probably my most personal art piece that I've ever made in my life. And no, you do not get to see it. Oh. Let's see. Oh, people shouldn't be able to read that. It's too blurry. But here's good old Dr. Frankenfurter. This is another like warm up and pen practice. just a little Freddie Mercury doodle. This is, oh God, ooh. Oh God, this scares me. Anatomy. That's pretty self-explanatory. I really needed to work on roses. Here's more. This is like, I wanted, very big yawn. Oh my God. Y'all should see how many times I can yawn in this. Slash half J, I swear to God. But this is kind of seeing how I could combine my current style and my old style together, you know, just seeing it. Just playing around with faces. I wanted to like see dynamic stuff, you know, just normal stuff. Oh my God, it was a Wednesday then. Oh, this is another random person, and this is done using markers. This actually were done using, I think they're like 5-year-old markers. Yeah, that sounds about right. 5-year-old markers. Well, look at them. Look at them go. I actually like the colors of this too. It might register a little darker on the camera, especially since my shadow and everything, but you can see it's more like this kind of color. Brings me to this one. And these are just doodles. Again, I was feeling very art blocked at the time because, I mean, I was drawing for multiple hours on end every single day, and I just needed more time and space. Look at them. Oh my God, that one kind of looks like me when I wear my hair in a bandana. Love the droopy eyes, and I love like the pulling down of like these lower eye parts, because you'll see more as my style starts to shift that I always like have really kept this part of my style. Except, actually no, I did keep it when I had my cartoony style about a year ago. But, okay. Oh my God, here's one of me. What is this? Oh my God, it's me from 9th grade. No context to this. This is another portfolio piece. This is personal, but I'm fine showing y'all, because, I mean, you're not gonna understand the meaning even close to it. But this one is done I will say it is done in a similar portrait style to a portrait series that I have. I'm not going to explain the portrait series because that spoils all the fun of it, but the style is supposed to be very frantic, thick, and gouache is supposed to be used more like acrylic. And it's supposed to convey emotion. Here, I'll show you one part of it, and I'm not going to say anything, but emo. Oh my God, I got the black emo nails. Okay, but these ones are black. But that's another problem for me. Not your worry. I had so many to do. Yes. Oh yeah, this is YouTube avatar redesigns. I mean, you obviously know my new redesign, which I need to do another redesign of it because I am still not satisfied with it. I am I don't know. I'm never going to be satisfied with avatars and stuff, but I also think there's a benefit of not being satisfied and always changing. But consistency is good to an extent. Oh yeah, this took me 6 hours to do all this stuff, and it always takes me a good 10 to 15 minutes to upload my avatars into my editing programs. Fun times. Oh my God. Ooh, this one is strange, but okay. I don't really like this one now. It's something about these yellows where you can tell that they were straight from the color palette of my yarn. Oh my God, that's 3 of my Gouache, jelly gouache set, but I would definitely redo it. I mean, there are certain aspects where it looks cool, but it doesn't feel cohesive at the same time. Like, it feels like it's in the same environment, but this and this don't quite align with each other. And like that and that, like one feels too bright and the other just feels like way too dark. That Furby is pretty scary, I have to admit. I apologize. I will paint better Furbies in the future as the Furby King. I'm technically not the Furby King, but King of Furbies. Okay. That's cool. Oh yeah, this was me thumbnailing while I was at school because I had jazz and winter percussion that same day. But this is like general thumbnailing stuff. I might make this a piece later, but I don't know. It has more of a like cartoony style, and my current style is very far from cartoony. But if I wanted to, I bet I could pull off a cartoony style. Like, if I necessarily had to. I was like, oh, I need cartoony style. But, ooh, oh my god. Yeah, okay, that's number 4. Number 4, and we're only 30 minutes into this. Okay, this is really cool, because this is embroidery floss. Or, you can call it this fancy name, string. But, and so it's string with Mod Podge on it, as you can see, it's reflective. So this was like, I had a big swim meet, and this was right before the swim meet. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try playing around with this thing. And then this masterpiece, you have to ignore this part. Oh my god, y'all, arm reveal. Oh my god, there's Tabitha scratches. Oh. But oh, I also have bruises from moving drums, but this kind of cuts it out a little. But this piece is another portfolio piece that I titled Moonage Daydream. But this one, inspired by the good old Aladdin saying, David Bowie, is actually a string, but this is entirely made by hand. Because I took it and I carved it out with my finger. And I only had like the very bare minimum before I had to go to swim practice. And then I spent like a good 2 to 3 hours like carving it out with Mod Podge. And you can see like reflected in this that it took some time, and it was really hard to do, and some pieces still come loose. That's why I have to be very careful with it. But then after, I'm like, hey, it's still missing something. It's still missing that pop. So these are actually, I don't know if y'all know this, but I like to sew. And these are actually pieces of fabric that I had left over in my scrap fabric pile. Because this is vintage denim. This is also a part of a pant leg that I seam ripped. This is just t-shirt stuff that I used to make patches out of. Like that's what my star patches are made out of. And this is vintage sweatshirt material from my grandfather, because I actually this is a very obscure reference, but that one skeleton sweatshirt that I made, that I'm still making technically, but that's where this fabric came from. And so I added this pop, because look, this is best observed in person. I know I can't quite do it, but it literally pops off the page, including the string. And so it adds like that little 3D aspect, like bam. And I love it so much. I need to use this style more, but and I like wrote this really long, like detailed thing about how David Bowie inspires me to push the boundaries of my art, and it's just so cool. I love like the loopiness of it, because it's like, it's crisp when it needs to be, but it's not completely crisp because it's all made by hand. And also, actually, another fun fact about this, I did not do a sketch beforehand. So what happened with this is all me freeforming it. But, oh my god, I love this piece. But, okay. This is just, oh yeah, there he is. An ode to Moonage Daydream. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's just a simpler way to say it, but cat people. I got an art studio. Yeah, I have an art studio in the basement that I use sometimes. I also have an art studio that I'm a part of I might have mentioned this before. I'm sorry, I repeat things sometimes because I forget when I mention that, but I am in a intro to painting class, and so I can use that studio sometime, but it's a bit of a drive to get there. But, I wanted to do a Freddie Mercury gouache drawing. Interesting. I did not have time to do this because this was like right before my portfolio crunch where I had to put all my stuff together. But I do have this giant gouache painting of a cat that is slowly peeling off, which is incredibly sad, but there's nothing I can do about it. Because, I mean, gouache is very hard to Mod Podge. But I bet there's another better way, but I mean, I hate to admit it, but I am a lazy artist. I use my energy for oil painting and sketching and making these videos. Okay, this is my lineup of what I ended up submitting. I mean, a lot of it is okay. I would like to keep it out. And again, there's that very personal piece, which I could just tape over, but, oh yeah, I actually took a break for like 3 days afterwards because I was just so burnt out because I was like going for a month straight, even through the holidays, because I got the flu and COVID like around Christmas time, and I was still going. And this is just me. This is gouache. Just painting how I feel. Oh my god, there's my fingerprint, y'all. It feels weird to feel it. It feels very strange. Oh yeah, I did not make good art then. This is me trying to paint Ziggy Stardust, which I don't like it that much. But you can tell, like, I am not motivated and I am uninspired. And this is me painting how I feel. But this was more like I'm just gonna get it down. I don't care how it looks. But I think this one especially it conveys feeling frustrated with my arm, being like, why is it this way? Why won't it do what I want it to do? Please, art, why? But, ooh. Oh my god, I love this. Okay, I know this is completely unproportional, but this would be such a good drawing if the head was like just a bit smaller. I wish I could just lasso it and shrink it, and it would be so cool. But as you can see on this page, this is for the I don't know why I want to try to say wizard, but no, the poet, the king, and the knight quiz. But I know I said it out of order, but knight, poet, king quiz. But as you guys know, I got poet. Though I do firmly believe if I got this at an earlier time in my life, I would have gotten the king, and I would have been like, oh, woe is me, king who wants to be a poet. But instead, I believe I'm a king who has broken free and has become a poet. And there's the verse from the song. Maybe it's poet, king, knight, king. I think king, knight, poet sounds about right, but it's something like this. Though I think it was funny seeing all the TikTok people being like, oh, it's about Jesus. What? And then the people battling out, you don't have media literacy. It's so comical, like, the amount of discourse that happens, or like what people fight about on the internet, because like I understand both sides, but it's kind of funny to just sit there and be like, yo, what man, oh my god, I just realized the only reason why I'm still going is because I had an energy drink this morning. Oh my god, sorry, I'm all over the place today, but you know what? It's my sketchbook tour. this is not your channel. This is my channel. I also like this side profile. It's a very good one. It is. Little kissy face. I like this eye style too. But you could tell I'm like still uninspired, but I'm like, hey, I gotta force myself to draw so I can get back into it, which I don't necessarily encourage, but also at the same time, there's a point where you do have to force yourself to draw again, because there's only so much you can do. Okay, we got, I think this is supposed to be young Sirius Black from the Marauders. Because I was just like, one day, I was like, hey, I want to draw Sirius Black, but in pencil. This is also probably one of the reasons why it smells like hairspray. Because as you can see, it is hairsprayed down. Thank God. You can also see a little bit of the sheen from the hairspray particles, which I do need to get more hairspray. Oh my God. Tabitha looks so cute sleeping on the couch. What if I was a sleeping Tabitha? But also, sleeping Tabithas don't create YouTube videos. I want to draw... Oh, new wave shit! Which brings me to this. I'm sorry, I don't know any of the names of these people, but they were general, like, new wave people during the 80s. Which this is around the time I did fall in love with the new wave style. Because there's something about it that's just... It makes sense for me. Like, look at the makeup, and, like, it actually has influenced my style, because sometimes, like, when I want to do sketches for makeup looks and stuff like that, I will, like, draw lips in a certain way that's, like, new wave and 80s goth. Because new wave, I guess, depending on who you talk to, new wave is, like, a branch of goth. Subculture, a very small, like, niche subculture of goth, and they are, like, they inspire each other, but it's a more colorful version. I like these eyes too. These eyes just make sense. Okay, let's see what the next one brings us. Oh, speaking of makeup, this is what I was talking about, but it's these drawn out lips, which I've had them come back down into reality more, but it's these drawn out lips, and you can see again like the gothic influences, and these were just like makeup looks that I wanted to do quickly before going to class. But I really like this one and this one, but I don't know, it's something about the gray and yellow and brown that just contrasts so well, because I don't think people normally think to use gray and like an orangey warm yellow. Like, that's not a well-seen color combo, but it's just such a good page. And I remember after creating it, I was like, God damn, this is a good page. And so, let's see. We got more just general stuff. Just yelling. Oh, Soldier Poet King with me and my friends. Oh my God. Love y'all if you're watching the video. Here, there we go. And then Bowie, except I'm like, I want to alter Bowie's eyes. I also call this the era of, I found this red pin in my school bag that my college gave to me for free, and I used it until the ink ran out. My personal philosophy is the best drawing pens that you will ever use in your life are free ones, because the moment you have to buy them, they're shit. They are shit. It's just something about them. Like, I've tried like the good, like, oh, I hit the camera, good like professional grade pens at art stores, and they don't fit me. No, it's something about them. It's just, you can't go wrong with a cheap ass pen. Oh my God, more David Bowie. Oh, I'd love to do before bed sketching. Oh my God, there's my little signature red. And just more Bowie, as someone was saying on the bus earlier. Look at him. It doesn't quite look like him, but it's like, that looks similarly enough. But I thought the outfit that he was wearing was very interesting. This is like, it reminds me of the Rick and Morty style a little, but it's like, draw without thinking, which is a good practice to do. I recommend. If you're feeling art block, just like put a pencil down and just go at it and see what happens. Your pencil will create and your mind will do it subconsciously. This is like a quick, I think it was like a 10-minute Aladdin scene practice. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to blur this. Oh my god. And so I was just, doing my thing. General art stuff. But, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it now, but I can't quite get the Aladdin sane face correctly. Little makeup look or persona, I guess. Depending on who you ask. But it's something about the proportions, because I can do side profile in the 3/4 back, but it's the front. It's the front that gets me. Let's see what's next. Oh my god. Okay. These are just like, again, more me just getting my frustration out, which honestly same. I'm just realizing mentally the character development I've had since last September. No context. Doodles. Ooh, I love that little face too. I love when I put the little gouache blushies. The face and the body's too small, the face is too big. That whole conundrum. That, I think, is my major problem. Especially, like, in sketchbooks like these. But this one just makes sense. Especially with his eyes. I don't know, like, the neck angle is a little weird. The body could be a little bit bigger. But if you take this, look at that. This is a crisp drawing. That is crisp. Okay. Yes. Okay. Silly little Bowie. Bowie circa man who fell to earth / low. We got a good old Halloween Jack. Oh, I like that little face too. And good old Aladdin, not Aladdin saying Ziggy Stardust. Oh, I love Bowie. I love him. I thought, pupils and pop-up sketchbook. Oh, that's me critiquing it. I thought I said popsicles in sketchbooks, and I'm like, what was I thinking? Because I don't know what I'm thinking currently. So, popsicles in sketchbooks. God damn. Ooh, these ones are cool. These are more experimental gouaches. I'm now I can take these printer papers out. So you're gonna see me do this. Hey, printer papers, please be good. Your paper from the printer. But this is more chaotic gouache because, again, I found my art style is very, very like quick, but also associated with a lot of movement. And I like to get my ideas down fast and just, it's very chaotic. But I'm precise when I need to be precise. Because there are moments where I really like to be precise, but there's just something about it where it's just, when I actually know, you know what I also did with this one? This one is all done by finger. That's why it looks this way. But you can tell that I used the method of just slowing it down. That's why there aren't any fine lines, is I used my finger. I forgot that I used my finger for this one. This one, you can see the difference between this and this. Like, you can tell that is a brush, but this is finger. Because there's something so raw about using your finger that it's just so tactile, and you're able to maneuver in the paints in such a way that you can feel them compared to brush. But I also think if you're gonna do anything like that, do it with watercolor or gouache. Maybe tempera paint. I don't know. I've never used that kind of paint before. But acrylic, plastic, oil, pretty self-explanatory and toxic. So heed my warning about the paint you touch. Also, you shouldn't be touching lead paint in the first place. So you should have already heeded the government's warning. Oh my god, y'all, look at this. We've got so much to do. Like, this is not even, oh my god, this sketchbook is taking long. But, so, yeah, this is very experimental. It's kind of more connected, but not quite. It works well, though. I like the colors and the movement associated around it, because it's something about, the colors clash so much, especially with that yellow and purple, but they also make so much sense too, because they clash, but they also complement each other. But they don't clash enough where it's like the brightest of bright colors. Okay, more Bowie doodles. Oh, I remember when I originally drew this one, I hated how small the hands are, and every time I look at it, all I can see is the small hands. It's one of those things where I cut it off, it looks good. That is David Bowie. Hands? Hell no. David Bowie does not have that small hands. This is more just like little doodles. This one is getting better. You can see like, I'm improving with the proportions, but it's something about that. It really is. Oh my god, it's a cat. I think that I did that one without guidelines. More red, less is more. Oh my god, it is close to Valentine's Day. I never would have thought that being in February entailed Valentine's Day. Thank you for telling me that, Ren. This one is another cool one where I actually did one where, I don't know, I morphed me and David Bowie's faces together. Well, I mean, heads. And I think it looks cool. There was another, like, there are several ones that I consider, like, quick concepts before school. And then if I really like them, I would pick them up more and, like, focus on them. But if not, I would just be like, hey, they're cool. Because on Mondays and Wednesdays, I have, like, an hour to hour and a half, depending on traffic, break in between my morning and afternoon class. And this was made then. This is top secret. Y'all are not getting this is 2 top secret pages. I do have to say it is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Ooh, this one. Oh my god, I love the story behind this one. I forgot what night it was, but I was doing my thing. Oh, and I remember there was a meteor shower, maybe, or there was a comet that only passes the Earth like every couple hundred years, you know, that kind of stuff, and it appeared, but I didn't get to see it. So, but I still wanted to like go out and look at the stars, because I love stars and the sky and the moon, and I made a special little star playlist. I included a bunch of David Bowie songs, and I just went and stared at the stars. And I actually listened to Sound and Vision, which is one of my favorite David Bowie songs. Highly recommend if you're looking for any more David Bowie songs. I know that's a very like small niche, but all I can describe Sound and Vision is it feels like someone is getting out of a hard time and they are trying to start something new. Like, there's something about it where I'm like, this is something new. And it feels like, I know there have been hard times. And I know this is rough and chaotic and unpredictable, but it's all going to work out in the end. It's just a good philosophy and thing to keep in mind. But I like to play it after, like, I'm done doing hard things. And also just, it's so experimental too, especially surrounding the Low album. But I love that song so much. And so when I was listening to it, staring up at the moon, I saw this rainbow hue coming off of the moon, because I believe it might have been close to a full moon. And I decided, hey, that would be cool if I included a David Bowie drawing with that. And so I got out my gouache and I made these like very pastel colors, and I just kind of like placed them down. I didn't think too much about it. And it comes together so well. Especially with the Ziggy Stardust too. It wraps together so well and it feels so cohesive. And I did reference this, but from an actual David Bowie photo, but it just, though in the photo his eyes are blacked out, but I wanted to keep it them open and like whited out so it felt more ethereal. But let's see. Sir, I'm probably gonna have to check this out. This is the day I found out I got into art college. I know, this is, I can take you out there, little silly piece of printer paper. No, I know you want to fall. Yes, you are gonna fall. But this is the day I found out I was going to art college. And it was a day. I'm so happy looking back on it now, because it was one of those moments where I was like, all of this work that I did paid off. This whole month of sacrifice paid off. And I got into art college. Because I had a feeling I was going to get into some, but there's always that like small bit of doubt within yourself that says, I'm not going to make it. This is completely irrational. Why the hell are you doing this? But I personally think you just got to push that aside, and you have to be like, but I'm here, and I'm here right now, and this is going to be fine. And it is hard, but gotta do it. And I was so happy that day. I remember my mom was telling all my relatives, because before I wanted to be a doctor, so she was like, oh, friend's gonna be a doctor. But as soon as I started saying I want to be an artist, I was called strange, or I would be like, oh, do they actually want to do that career? Or just things like that. And people would just question me. And I just knew I was gonna pull this off. And then we called my relatives, and they're like, oh my god, you got into art school. Which I probably am gonna be the first one on my mom's side of the family to attend art school, possibly. So that's exciting. Yeah. I love stories like this, where it's just, again, it's one of those stories that just really shows like the human spirit, and anything is possible as long as you're passionate about it and you just put your all into it. Anything is possible. Anything. Especially, that goes for art too, especially. I hope this is like good inspirational stuff, especially for people who are like heavily art blocked, because I always like to listen to videos like sketchbook videos like this, where it's like inspiration when I'm like extremely art blocked, because there's something about someone else telling you, hey, you are gonna be fine. Because you can gaslight yourself as much as you want, but when someone else does it in a positive manner, it's always more effective. Okay, why did I try to use the cadence of the Joker there? I apologize. I swear, I told you I'm sleep deprived. I'm sleep deprived off my balls. This is pretty self-explanatory. Bowie. And then we got some hands. This is like hand practice. I need to practice more hands. I'll point out the hands I like. I really like this hand. And I really like this one too. There's something so dynamic about the shift of the wrist. Like, bam, hand, bam. It's something about the curvature of it. And then this one is just, it looks like a hand. A little more pointy at the end. I think fingers are more rounded, but that's hard to figure out. That one's pretty good. It's like this one too, where there's something about that wrist snap. Some good part of it. Ooh, I like that one too. Where it's like grabbing. These are my favorite hands. Ooh, this one too. It's like that holding of it. It's the posture too, and it's so fluid and so it just moves. But I hate drawing hands. Ooh, I love this. This is an art study. I mean, this is technically an art study too, but that's a different kind of art study. But, let's see. This is my style before. I love to go through, like, the little before and afters of style. My style has evolved a lot compared to this, actually. It's only been, like, 2 months, but it has changed a lot. Okay, this one is... I wanted to take at Bumblebee Doodles style on Instagram, like the coloring style, but this more like face style is inspired by New Wave Cowboy on TikTok. They do not have an Instagram, but I would highly recommend checking out their TikTok because good art. But here's me like trying out their style. Like, I wanted to look into the different aspects, like the mouth. I love just like the fluidity of their lines, and it just feels like they put it down in such a swift manner that it's so confident, and it's confident and it's rounded but angular at the same time, and it just makes so much sense. It really does. I don't know, I think I might have to do another art style of them soon. I would do it today, but what time is it currently? But it is currently a time. The computers around me are dead. Yippee! Okay. This is a gouache study of David Bowie. A shocker. But it's a David Bowie circa Scary Monsters, Ashes to Ashes. Oh, it's only 11:51. But yeah, circa Ashes to Ashes, Scary Monsters. And I just wanted to like try and capture. Oh, I wonder if you can hear my eye. I wanted to try to capture just this thing, but the neck feels a little wonky. I like the rest of it, but this part is a little weird because these colors are too similar to each other, even though I know they're like not similar in hindsight, but they're still similar. But that is a very good nose, because I found noses are so hard to paint. They are so hard. But I love especially in the reference photo, it's like the splashes of color on his face are just so precisely placed, but they look just so fluid and so intentional but unintentional. This is inspired by another piece I did in my last sketchbook. I had some black lipstick on, so I just took it off like this. And yeah, it's from Makeup Look I did. And there was some eyeshadow in there. And I think I ended up giving myself a paper cut on my eyeball. So I don't recommend doing this. Is it fun? Yes. Is it dangerous? Possibly, but not quite worth it. But it looks cool. 5. Little yawning. And then this one is just 2. It's more David Bowie, but he doesn't look like himself. And I whenever David Bowie, I draw David Bowie and he doesn't look like himself, I always acknowledge it. So I think it's fine for me to be like, not quite David Bowie, but I'm tired. Because when I draw when I'm tired, I get really sloppy and I'm like, my coordination is off and I'm not quite able to like line it up and everything. You understand? This one, it was from another series that I was doing of portraits. I will give no further context to this. Just it doesn't matter, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, so it's like I guess those are titties. It's top surgery. This is more just vent stuff. It's not about how it looks, it's more like vent. It's the whole trans genocide and anti-trans legislation that's being proposed in a bunch of different states each day. And then we got Aladdin saying, sorry, this is a little bit of whiplash. I like how round these eyeballs are. I need to make my eyes more expressive in my style now. But I actually have these pants that I found at a flea market with my grandfather for $6, and they have safety pins all down the side. And I actually have these Bowie patches that I made to put on them. And so this is like me planning out the Bowie patches. Though I do need to fix 2 of the 3, so I only technically have 1 Bowie patch on them now. But this, I really love this one. And this is the album cover for Low. And I think what's so cool about looking at this is it's pretty good for me at this time, but it's incredible how much I can improve on gouache and also accuracy and like portraying skin tones and like looking at all this stuff. But it reads very well on camera. It's just one of those pieces where I'm like, it just makes sense. But it took a while to do. That was the only thing. And the one thing that got me, I didn't quite get it right, was the eye. So it looks really good without the eye. But the eye is like, the pupil is a little too big. Which, yeah, I tried. And then I also forgot to include, I think, the iris. But this is just yogurt. I don't know, I like the box. So I was like, you know what? Put it in my sketchbook. Because at this point I was like, hey, I'm going to have like a thick sketchbook. I might as well use it. But let's see. Ooh. These were actually 6. These were actually some very quick Bowie sketches that I did, because I was doing like a timed 1-minute Bowie sketch, and then I actually moved over to 2 over here, which y'all will see eventually. But I really like this one. It doesn't look like Bowie, but I like how it looks still. Oh, this was the one I was listening to a lecture. And then I switched to 2-minute, which these 2 are a little scary, but I do like this one, and I think this one turned out very well at the time. I love Pirouette Bowie. Love good old Pirouette Bowie. Oh, here's more Bowie. Ziggy played guitar. I genuinely, this is one of my favorite ones from the sketchbook. Like, just a little doodle. This one, it just feel like these feel off, but this one, it just makes sense. It really does. This is more like, just, I wanted to get my anger out. I like to get my anger out on my sketchbooks a lot, which I'm probably going to do after I finish filming this video because there's something very satisfying about just putting it on paper. But I believe I painted this one by finger too. This might have been brush stroke, but I know this definitely wasn't. Actually, it could be. There's a chance, but let's see. This one is censored. F you. But, oh, this one is, I forget the name of it. I will insert the name right here, but it's that famous painting. And I remember, okay, this is a weird story, but I remember some TikToker, there was like TikTok discourse where like some TikToker painted this on their sketchbook, and then everybody's like, oh my god, you're so bad, which I do not believe in support in making fun of beginner artists, because we all have to start from somewhere and we all build up these skills over time, and you're always learning because you do eventually like acquire the skill sets more and more, but you're always learning and you're always going to be a beginner in something. But and then I saw a comment where someone was like, well, if you guys are talking about drawing, why don't you actually draw? And I was like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. And I got out my gouache set and I decided to just do a gouache drawing of this. I think there look like there are faint guidelines in here, but I actually really like how it turned out. So I was like, TikTok person, help me a little bit with some good old art block. But I love how it looks. It looks very crisp too. I think it shows up even better on camera because it looks a little less washed out, because this view's a lot lighter. That's just stupid fan stuff I don't want y'all to see. It's dumb. This one's not exciting. But, oh, milk. You can tell I'm art blocked again. Nonsense. Bowie. General sketchbook stuff. Let's see. Ooh. Designing the avatar. Look at this. This was the idea. Actually, everything except the skull t-shirt I have. I love my little cuff. But look, it's the original thing of the avatar. I ended up with a lot more than 3 sad, 5 mad, 3 confused, 5 happy, and 3 neutral. Avatars. Avatars are hard. I was also feeling very uninspired, so I was like, you know what? Bowie cat. And this Bowie cat, it saves the day. Look at that Bowie cat. That Bowie cat is a good Bowie cat. Because it's just a Bowie cat. I feel like that's one of the things where if I say it enough, it will just lose all meaning. Like, Bowie cat. Bowie cat. Bowie cat. I'm too cool for cats. I'm cool for cats. I need to listen to Squeeze more. I like the music. I swear to God, I said that last video. Oh my God. Tyler Durden. Oh my God, I watched Fight Club on Valentine's Day. Because, okay, I made this on Valentine's Day then. Because I was painting this while watching Fight Club. And okay. Not to sound like one of those red flag film bros, but I love Fight Club. There's something, I just love it. It's such a good movie. Like, especially with, like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the plot. But I think I love it more because I view through the eyes of homosexuality rather than, we gotta harm everybody in the world, and we gotta rebel against the government by hurting other people, which is definitely not the way. You gotta hurt the government first before you hurt the people. And so I was like, Tyler Durden. So satisfying to draw, like, and I love this style of gouache too. I love like the brush strokes, because I mean, you'll see like more depending on the gouache pieces that I do, that I have this like signature, like sometimes almost dry brush and similar color tone, but hey, it's good. Another one of Tyler Durden. I actually did this one pretty fast, but I like this one too. It's like, it's so simplistic, and I love how it's framed too, about it, how it's like all chaos right here, and it's just white. Just white. Lesser strokes, the better. And that was a little bit of advice from my painting professor. Good old painting. Bowie. This one is, I was gonna do some late night studies, but I got tired. Like I was like half awake while I was drawing these, because these were supposed to all be finished ones, but I found when you underpaint for gouache, it takes so much longer because you have to like let it dry and all that stuff. But oh my god, it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. But actually, I think there might be more sketches of it in the future. But I ended up turning this into a giant painting. It's actually of gouache, and it's meant to mimic the style of underpaintings, except it's like transformed a little more. But I'll probably insert a picture. But because I love that painting, because there's something about it where I like did the right strokes, and it just makes Bowie's nose look so good. And I'm like, I don't know how I did this, but it makes sense. And it's meant to look unfinished and messy and like kind of all over the place. Oh, I know there's a lot of this red pen, but I don't know, this page makes me just think signature red pen, and like I can feel like all the little spots where like the ink, you can see that where the ink bled through a little extra, and then I can feel like the texture, like it's a little rough from where it like scratched into the paper. I really like this one, but this is more just like, I don't know, just drawing how I feel, which I think this is a lot of what this book is. What this book? This is not a book. This is a YouTube video. I swear to God. This is not going to be in a book form at any point in time, but I don't know. I just, oh, and there's an eyeball right here, but, oh, and a hand. But it's just, I like expressing how I feel through art, especially now, because it's such a healthy outlet to just be like, bam. It doesn't have to look good. It just has to express how I feel. It's the only goal. My God damn. How many, we're like, oh my God. This is insane. We're only like halfway through February. We should be halfway through the book, but you get it. Okay, this one, yeah. Well, there's a little red. This is another this is a thumbnail for Draw This in Your Style I wanted to enter, which has now ended, because, I don't know, I've been pretty busy for the past couple months, and now things are finally starting to wind down for me. But this is another really good sketch of the Bowie one that I turned into that canvas painting. I like that face. Me too. That is me right now. That is also me. And then this is where I discovered markers. Well, again, I already had markers, but you get the point. I don't know why I said the bite of 87, but the bite of 87. Oh, 60 subs. Oh, this is when I studied a lot for bio, and I was incredibly frustrated. But yeah, it's exciting. It took me like a month and a half to get to 60. Wow, it took me a month and a half to get doing math. That can't be 13. 23. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Take an average amount. But I love how, oh my god, I think I might have given myself like the tiniest paper cut from this because I like brushed into this. Holy shit. Things I do for YouTube. But here is, this one is of Aladdin singing. Of course. No. Oh my god. I'm getting so tired that I said that Ziggy was Aladdin singing. Ziggy! Ziggy! No! I think this is probably my best one of, I really like that one angle of Freddie Mercury, but I think this is probably one of the best versions I did of it, because it expresses it so perfectly, especially with the texture of the marker. I need to use more marker, especially with the good textured paper I have, because I'm now back to like a high quality Canson, which actually it's a lot smaller, but it was actually around the same price of this. Then there's Bowie. I think I might have been talking to Laddie and May while doing this. Oh yeah, oh my god. This is another Bowie one, I think. So it might have been on the cover of my last one. But there's Jareth. Because this is when me, Laddie, and May were watching Labyrinth. Which, oh my god. Love it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go drop Goblin King Jareth. He is my man. God damn, I need to draw him more. And I'm also going to be making a cosplay for him in May. So, oh my god, that's exciting. Oh my god, that's less than a month away. Yay! I just gotta finish classes first. Because classes is what's holding me back from like wig styling and sewing and, you know, all that cosplay stuff. But more Bowie. This is like retro futurism surrealism. Picture. This is another reference on Instagram. It's for 67 gods. Hey, they're spaced out over a long period of time, so they're getting more and more infrequent. But All Dead, All Dead. Queen song from News of the World, I believe. Like, mostly sure. Because I have that one on cassette. Bowie. Bowie. Look at that. Honestly, me too right now. This was supposed to be one Queen, but yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. This is supposed to be Roger May, but it looks like a completely different person. I also have no clue who this is supposed to be. Because this can't be David Bowie. It looks like, I think it might be me attempting to, but it's not him. It's not him. Oh, okay. This next one is fucked out. But oh my god, y'all, it's Elvis Presley. I think I did this one while watching the Elvis movie. Because I know I've mentioned this many a time in my sketchbook videos, but oh my god, I love biopics. Or biopics, I don't know how the hell you say it, but I like to pronounce them as biopics. And I love documentaries on music. I love music. And so I was watching the Elvis movie, and I was like, oh my god, I should draw Elvis. I don't support some of the things he did, but I like Elvis's music, especially if, I think the song If Only I Could Dream, it's like one of the songs I listen to repeat all the time, because I switch between like very different artists. Where I'm like, okay, here we've got David Bowie, then we switched to The Clash, especially their like more punk albums, and then we have like Dexter's Midnight Runners, which is more like folk. I mean like folk, Scottish and Irish, and then but rock and pop, and then we got fucking Elvis, and Elton John thrown in there being like, "Holy Moses, let us live in peace." It's so fun, but it's so chaotic at the same time. Like, I can't keep it straight. Ooh, I am excited for these things. Oh, yeah, you can see upside down Elvis. I don't know why. I think I tried to draw. I think I flipped my sketchbook on the wrong direction, but this is, I think, is outfit from If Only I Could Dream, or If I Could Dream. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name of the song right now, but so good. So good. Honestly, me too right now. Me too. And then this is like same movie but inverted Elvis face, which I guess is more like I'm gonna say either 8 or 7. It's less realistic, but it's also, it has realistic elements, but it's more conceptual and it takes a different play on color. But it's also just me playing around. I love stuff where it's just me being like, hey, I can art. Because that's like half my sketchbook, which I think that's what sketchbook should be. New Wave Cowboys face style. And then this is my own. You can see the difference. And that's good old Ashes to Ashes Bowie. Good old Pirouette Bowie. I love Pirouette Bowie. And again, one of my favorite eras. It's like that new wave style, especially, which, I mean, some people credit him as being like an inspiration for new wave, but so good, so good. Boom. This is a redraw of Eddie Munson. Good old Eddie. I love Eddie Munson. I think I have subconsciously stole Eddie Munson's gender, because I kind of look like Eddie Munson, except my bangs go like, they part to the side rather than right down the middle. But I've had like many reactions from people. My best friends call me Eddie Munson. I mean, I like kind of joke about being Eddie Munson. I've had people come up to me and go, "Rock on!" Wait, is it? No, it's not Rock On. Because that's Spider-Man. But Rock On! And it has been a time. It's still kind of funny though. And one time when I was actually just wearing my battle vest around, someone thought I was an Eddie Munson cosplayer, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take the compliment, but also this is how I look normally. Just more gay Eddie Munson if you like David Bowie, honestly. Oh, this is a sketch that I did very quickly, because these two were done very quickly and like right before I had to go take an exam. But there's good old Elton John. I love Elton John. I think I have gotten better at drawing him, but I can definitely still do better. This is more Ashes to Ashes Bowie, because this was the week of my February vacation. Even though it wasn't quite a vacation because of how college break aligned up. But yeah, Ashes to Ashes Bowie. Having a sad cigarette. A sad cigarette. Hey. Occasionally when I say something like that and I yawn, Tabitha will just look up at me. She's like, she's falling in and out of sleep, which is understandable. Tabby is understandable. Okay, this one. Boom. Color palette doesn't matter. I don't care about that, but project. What did I write here? Parties? What? I want to do blue plus orange. I think that's for like an art thing later, but no. Lupus orange. Oh my god, one of my cats just teleported. Bro really teleported like one of those Minecraft cats. Like, just popped into my living room. Eddie, I just saw Steve. Ugh, I hate these. I'm gonna try to go buy them as fast as I can. Poses. Ugh. Poses. I hate pose practice. I can see all the flaws in them now, especially poses. They're necessary, but ugh. Poses. There's so many of them. I'm trying to run, but I can't. I can't hide poses. Ugh. Poses. Ugh. And last but not least, poses. Ugh. But bam, Bowie. This one it's interesting when I found whenever it's been like a month or so since I've drawn, and I've like started, my skills have progressed, so I start to see the flaws in what I drew like a month ago. But this was like a normal drawing, and I'm like, hey, this doesn't feel quite right, especially with the body proportions. And oh my god, I made heads so big for a while, but I decided to do a barg drawing. I will look up how to pronounce that eventually. Is today the day? Nope. Today is not the day. But I was just trying to like loosen myself up, and like, instead of being like, it has to be a certain way, more like, hey, it does what it does. It flows what it flows, and shadows do what shadows do. Though I think I haven't had the chance to do a barg drawing. Again, you get the point, where I like do the actual drawing and then I lay the gouache down and I use it as a double study with a study of the movement and shadows, and then I actually practice the color using shadows. Oh. See, this is why, again, just with art, you gotta find ways where you can get passionate about drawing things, because I can't do these types of drawings with everything, so I do it with David Bowie then. Like, find a thing, person, or animal that you really like drawing or place, and then just do that. And then once you get really good at it, move on to the next thing. And just keep on going and creating your big selection. Because that's just art. Okay, these ones are strange. Again, I got very art blocked during this vacation. Very, very. I like this one, but ashes to ashes. Fun to funky. He's British. Yeah, he is British. Eyes definitely have to be higher though. I agree, but I don't know. I don't like this time. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth because I was pretty badly art blocked. Incredibly art blocked. But this was trying out a new style. I was thinking more like cartoony, comic-esque, but yet semi-realistic, and I hated it. And it's like, I guess it is influenced by my current style, but it's too sanitized. It really is, because I don't know, when I think of my art, I think of very like messy, quick art where I just kind of like scribble down my ideas and get it on the paper, and whenever it's clean, it just doesn't make sense. Because from painting to fine lining, hi wiggling camera, from painting to fine lining, I've just found that it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. But yeah, oh my god, art. I never would have thought that. Yeah, you can see more like this is me just trying to like play around with the style and be like, yo, what is going on here? Like, trying to make sense of it. This is all scary. More new wave Cowboy style study. I was really obsessed with their style. Oh, last day of vacation. Yeah, I'm mad at this style. I'm pissy. But yeah, this is another study of new wave styles. New wave Cowboys eyes. And then I like modified them to be my own. I really like this eye style of mine. And like I tried out looking more angular and that kind of thing. And just face proportions, because I want it to look realistic, but also like not realistic, but also my style. I guess semi-realistic, but. And then we got, oh my god, what's his face? It's Timothée Chalamet from Don't Look Up. Forgot the name of his character, but I really wanted his character's gender, and I was like, you know what? Hand it over. Please. Hand it over. To video. Oh, ow. Oh my god. The paper cut is back. God damn it. But this is more like, I really struggled to draw him. Because, okay, Timothée Chalamet, he's one of those square guys. And square guys are so hard to draw because everybody tries to draw people in like a really, I mean, we're taught like oval and circle. But there's some people that are just fucking squares. Especially Joe Keery. And so I'm like trying to figure out his square face. And then I'm like, David Bowie. Except David Bowie fails. And then I gave up because I'm like, oh, too tired. This is General David Bowie sketch. And I actually really like this Halloween Jack one. This is actually my profile on Instagram. And so I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And we call them the Diamond Dogs. And yeah, you know, general notes. Hands are incredibly hard. This hand scares me to death. Speaking of which, I will need to practice more hands. Bro, this is giving me a list of stuff that I can do in practice. And I bet there are some of you out there that have been neglecting these parts too. So I would just like to say, I see you. Okay, we almost get to the turning page of this sketchbook. Because I think as soon as I got into March, things started to get better. Because this is like, I don't know. I can tell I was frustrated with my sketchbook. So I feel frustrated with it right now, looking back on it. Because I found sketchbooks from certain times tend to evoke different emotions when I look back at them, look through them. Oh my god, let's see. Them square guys. Oh my god, this is when I got into the art school that I'm actually going to go to. Maybe I'll announce that someday in the future. Far future, and I actually it was very exciting. I got a good scholarship, so I'm actually able to go there, and yeah, it was honestly insane. And then, you know how I wanted to celebrate? Doing a horrible drawing of Joe Keery. Look at him. That's not even Joe Keery. There we go. Moving this over. There's nothing interesting at the top of this except I'm just going to pivot eyes. But there's Timothée Chalamet. That was around after I think I watched Call Me By Your Name with Laddie. I'm just going to flip this so it's easier. Because, oh my god, I watched Call Me By Your Name with Laddie one night, and I was a dumbass. And I was like, you know what? It's late at night. I should be fine to keep on watching this. Nope. I was not fine. And I ended up falling asleep for 3 hours. And I slept through the movie. Well, I would say 3/4 of it. Which is interesting. And Laddie stayed there the whole time and didn't notice I was asleep until after the movie was done. But oh my god, this is the hydration is milk piece. I see you at readjusting iPhone. This is the hydration is milk. Oh, I love this art piece. Okay. So this is like, hey, don't you dare. I see you. Yeah, I see you trying to readjust. But this one is a piece that I made, but these ones are like the base sketches, but where this is like the mock-up of it. I'll have to put a more official version up somewhere, but it has the phrase, hydration is milk, has David Bowie with his milk carton, because there are several scenes, and then especially in documentaries, where he's just drinking out of a milk carton, and it says, I think, like in the corner, totally not milk propaganda. You know, something along the lines of that, like playing on the, ooh, milk propaganda, government, like, you know, that kind of stuff. But I love it so much because hydration is milk. And I think the funniest part of it all, I found it so hilarious after I created it, is that I absolutely hate milk. So you just walk into my room and you see like a little David Bowie drawing with hydration is milk and him holding a carton of milk. You assume I like David Bowie and I like milk. And then I would be like, haha, you assumed wrong. I, in fact, do not like milk. I don't know, it's something about it that's like, yeah, cow juice. Ugh. Not like, ugh. Even thinking about it, okay. This pen, oh my god, okay, it's a sad day, y'all. I lost the OG pen. I lost it. I actually have a smaller version lying somewhere in my piles of art supplies, or maybe by my gouache set, but it's like one of those pens that ink is put down really easily on it. So it smudges like crazy, as you can tell, but also it like creates this element where you can just sketch and not use any guidelines, and just it goes down very smoothly. And I love the feeling of that. It glides. It's like the exact opposite of the cheap pen, but in the best way possible. And oh my god, I had so much fun drawing with this. Because I was, as you can tell, this is me like starting to break out of my art block, because I was like blocked out of my mind. I was like not liking my style. February was not a good art month for me. I wasn't feeling it. The only good thing was the gouache that I did, but I got so excited as soon as I went over. I just took this pen and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use it. And look at how well it worked. And so you can see me being really excited to use it, except that hand, which I was like, oh, bigger hand. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But, and here's more. Oh my god, here's, that's a drawing of me, from a thing. This is me and my little bandana. I love the fluidity presented in this brush. Not this brush. This pen, because it presents me to do so much more and work so much more. It helps you be more precise yet more loose at the same time. And yeah, and this is like kind of a similar hairstyle, which I actually, you know what, I'll probably change my avatar after this, because as soon as I graduate, I am going to cut off most of my hair. And yeah, I'll probably do a video about something like that. So make it something fancy, who knows? I mean, who knows if I'll like do a face reveal anytime soon, but it all depends on how I feel and my equipment. But Tabitha, oh, I hated this still life. It was this one block I couldn't get, because these two were made of glass, and this one was fine, but I could not get this thing to save my life, because I was fine doing these glass things, because glass is easy for me to paint, because I kind of like slap it down there. But it's things like these where I have to like color match. Ooh, I like this little side profile. That's a good one. I really like this face. I don't know. It's not the most proportional, but it makes sense. Oh yeah, I like these eyes as well. Oh, and these ones. And this is an old JoJo OC that I had. Furby! I just noticed that now. It's a Furbs. And this is like, again, this shows you the line stuff. But this is, yeah, JoJo OC that I made like 2021. Yeah, 2021. I kind of abandoned them. But I made this while watching Mitchell's versus the Machines. Which I love that movie. Highly recommend checking out if you're ever bored. Such a good movie. Oh, pushes the boundaries of animation, especially in a post Spider-Verse animation field. Oh. You can see I'm starting to get better. I'm starting to pick up my pace a little, but it's like I'm starting back up. But this is David Bowie pencil sketches. I really like these because it took me out of my comfort zone, and I think I used it in such a way that I tried not to use the eraser as much. Cracked Actor. I don't remember what this is from. I think this is from an interview, and this is early Bowie, and that of course is Ziggy. I love Cracked Actor. That's another one of my favorite Bowie songs, because it's very upbeat, but it's very snappy at the same time. Like, crack, baby, crack. So right up here. It's like the cadence of all of it. It mashes well, and then like the guitar solos and the riffs and everything about it, it works. But it's just so upbeat compared to like Starman and some of Bowie's other songs, because he has some very upbeat songs, but some of them are also, especially his early ones, is like, I am a British lad and I'm doing British lad things, and my mummy told me not to do these British lad things, which we all gotta start somewhere. But it's just funny to look at the difference between like his music then and like Cracked Actor, or specifically like the Just Dance records, or like oh my god, I'm gonna drill this into my brain, Black Star. But Black Star is also like a death concept album, so that should be put in its own category. But like his original one, like his self-titled album, compared to like Aladdin Sane, because I mean that's where Cracked Actor came from, though he like would perform it in other tours too. We got more good old Ziggy. I think this is a Clockwork Orange inspired Bowie look, because he was obsessed with Clockwork Orange, but I watched Clockwork Orange. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, fight me in the comments if you want. And like, maybe if I watch it a second time, I'll like it a little better, but it makes sense, but also not. Because I understand the premise and everything, but I don't know, I don't like it. And then, I bet this is more Aladdin Sane. It looks like Aladdin Sane. No, not Aladdin Sane. Oh my god, I keep on saying Aladdin Sane because people are talking about Aladdin Sane earlier. It's good old Ziggy. And I think this is like there's like pain in the background too, and planets like, oh, Ziggy. This is Man Who Fell to Earth, but it's more like cartoony Bowie, which I love this style still. Like, look at how cute that looks. He looks like a little cat. Little cat Bowie. Good old little cat Bowie. What if I was a little cat Bowie? Like, that's a pretty good life to live. Oh, that's... Pages are bending. It's not too bad. This thing is turning surprisingly easier than I thought. I thought it would be battling this thing to the death, but this is me like modifying my style more. I don't know. I don't like any of these renditions of it, but I'm trying to figure out how I can replicate like that cat Bowie style in a way that works well. Ooh, this is supposed to be a redesign of Mochi, but I don't know. I don't like how long his face is. Like, something seems off, but it could be lowered just a little bit more. And I also went to bed here. The movie I'm watching just said the main character looked like David Bowie. Edge of 17 original 90s version, which I love that movie. That's another good movie that I watched recently. It's like, I don't know, I think it's overlooked, but it's a queer coming of age story, but it does it in such a good way where it, like, I don't know, something about it just makes sense. And it's like navigating all the hardships and like ups and downs, and it's like, but oh, okay, camera, okay, phone, I see you like that, I see you. Oh yeah, a little background before I move on. You are currently mounted on a pizza box and a box I got from Aldi. All the context you get in the world. Okay. These ones I also made. This is like when I just spent a weekend at home. I think I was just relaxing because this was like the calm before the storm. Because March, ever before this week, March has just been hell. But it's over. It's done. No more music March. This is Bowie presenting award. Head is way too big still. This is another Bowie one. Head is still way too big. I can see all the big heads now. And got Elton. Head is definitely way too big in this. Oh my god. Oh, I hate big heads on my characters. Ugh. But I like the ideas and like the sketchiness behind this. And we got Mick Jagger. It's just like a pencil study. Cool, Mick Jagger. Oh yeah, I remember I started listening. I need to listen to the Rolling Stones more too, because I listened to some of their music at the beginning of March. I haven't listened to it as much because I like got into the Beatles, but you know, I can flip flop. I can flip flop. That is possible. And here is good old Freddie Mercury, which I know his face is too big, but if you take out his head, like, that is a damn good silhouette. It's so cartoony, but it's also like so stretched out and so just fluid. Absolutely fluid. I love the fluidity of that pose too, and like how the cord from the mic goes down too, because it fits so well with it. I don't think I ended up doing this page because this is rubbing off, but I wanted to draw stuff from the Edge of 17. But then I got an art block, and this was the stuff that was originally hung on my walls for a while. This was back before I got my Bowie posters, so I would, you know, do the typical make my own. And so this was almost included as a portfolio, because for a while I was just thinking about including a portfolio when applying to schools, so I could be like, hey, I also do art. I'm a well-rounded student. But it's not even close to meeting any of the requirements of my actual portfolio pieces. This is another one I hung on my wall. Yeah, it's self-explanatory again. I had so many, there are so many of these, but these are like the small white charcoal pieces that I hung on my wall. This also takes a good amount of my sketchbook up. So I made them back in December, and they stuck up for a while. They would fall down a lot, but they survived. Need to get more. Those are the reasons why I need more poster. Oh, and here's the main character from Edge of 17, because I was like, I would like to steal his gender. He is a pretty boy, and he is called David Bowie, so I would like to acquire a little taste of that. But yeah, I like these sketches. His face feels too small and too short, but I haven't seen the actor in a little bit, so it could also just be how his face is structured. But here's more just doodles, you know, mouth with mold. Flashback to that one piece I made. Little eyes. That. I love these just details. Oh my god, we're starting to get into my more better and modern stuff, because I find it's funny, like, when my older sketchbook videos blow up because they're not accurate to the stuff I actually draw. And I remember I see people comment on the stuff that I draw in those videos, and they're like, oh, good art, which, thank you for the comments. Like, I love support like that. Again, oh, don't pizza box, don't. I love support like that. But I'm also, at the same time, I'm like, guys, I draw other things too. I swear. I don't draw just any months and anymore and nights. I swear. Which I think it's funny that video blew up. I mean, not blew up, but it blew up to my standards. My standards are pretty low. But yeah, here's another like young Frankenstein, broken but beautiful concept. You know, all that jazz. I don't want to pursue it more. I don't like that. I like the idea, but I don't like how I am doing it. Oh, okay. Tomorrow, forget. I love when I write cryptic things to myself, like, tomorrow, forget this art style and change it completely. Because you can tell I'm art blocked. And then, you know what I did? Wait. Oh, yeah, I listened to the Beatles. That's what I did. It's not quite, you'll get the context for this, but I listened to the Beatles. I still want to make a little silly Beatles drawing. I actually did get a Beatles poster yesterday, so I already have a Beatles poster. This is also a work in progress, but I don't feel like my skills are sufficient, and I need to practice a lot more before I can properly portray them. But I do have it, like, what's it called? It's sketched out on the canvas. It's not quite sketched, but I have like the baselines of it. I have it proportioned out on a canvas. Record sketchbook video. Oh my god. Oh, I'm already at 72 pages. We have a good ways to go still, but we're getting to like March 8th. But it's gonna start to speed on by after this, and I mean, so far as recording, it's almost 2 hours, which is crazy. But, okay, this piece is probably a long explanation on the back. Okay, so one night, I think it was like 1 a.m., I think this was night of March 8th. Yeah, I think it was. But I was not having it with my art for a couple days. I was getting pretty discouraged, especially with oil painting too. And you know what I do best? I watch Moonage Daydream. And after I watched it, I cried, and then I was like, I want to paint. Because I love that documentary, and it just makes me feel so alive. And I highly recommend watching it, even if you're not a David Bowie fan. Because it's just, it's so good. And it just portrays being a human perfectly. Well, but through the eyes of David Bowie. But, so this was entirely made out of my fingers. And what I did was I sat down on my floor. I did this in the complete dark. It was 4 a.m. And I just used my fingers and my gouache palette. And I just wanted to capture how I felt in the moment. Because it feels so human, yet so similar. Because this could be anyone. Honestly. It could be anyone. And it looks so good. Especially, it translates very well on camera. But it was funny. I put the time of recording on there. Effects of Moonage Daydream on the soul. Oh, yeah. I forgot it was on a school night. College student core. Don't recommend y'all do stuff like that. It's not good. But here's another one. Oh, I almost pushed this down. But yeah, here's another version. This is the same concept. I like the first one better though. But it's not supposed to look good. I think that's the beauty of all this. Is it's not supposed to look good, and it's not supposed to look like anything, and it's up to your interpretation. Because you can only see what your mind really sees. I can see what I intended it to see, but since it's more borderline abstract, you can make your own interpretation out of it. Yeah, oh, 5:13 a.m. What is this? Oh, it's just a pose. Martin Day. March 10. Mario Day. love these cross hatchings. I remember I was just like, I'm gonna get my anger out. And then I created this. And I think it looks cool. Proportions don't line up the best, but you know what? I don't care. Because this was more about experimental around not using any guidelines and kind of just like cross hatching out instead of using like swift lines. Because as you can tell, I use more swift lines. This is another painting that's part of a collection. Well, not in a collection, but like a series. No further elaboration on this one either. But just look at the color. The color says everything. Ugh. This one, these were necessary for me to just get out because I was frustrated with my art. Okay. Going to bed. Let's see, this is sketch. So someone went to percussion practice holding drums, interesting. I was like, you know what? Good art pose. David Bowie, but I was annoyed. Oh yeah, I was stressed out. I like that chair sketch though. That is a good chair sketch, honestly. And then we got, is that? I think that's, it can't be Paul McCartney. No, I think it's Paul McCartney. I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, there you go. And then David Bowie, and then Mick Jagger. Here, these are like quick things. This is a redo of that one Call Me By Your Name gouache thing that I did. I took that one out of my, there are a couple ones that I've taken out of my sketchbook, which is too bad, but they remain on my walls, which is important. This is practicing side profiles. These were like, again, studies, March 13th. More studies because I'm like working on making more diverse profiles because there's so many different ways that facial features work. I really like this person's profile, and I also like this one and that one. Actually, I like all of these the more I think about it. Oh my god, there's my boy! There's my boy. Good old Mochi. This is his redesign. And I did use gouache to scribble on him. But like, oh, he looks so cool. I love him. I love that like nose shape too. It's more similar to my nose shape, except my nose bump isn't as big, but this is more proportion studies. Again, gotta do this stuff so I can do normal art. I need to do more proportion studies too, because my current sketchbook is actually a lot smaller than this one. It's like probably about that big. Yeah, it's like a little bigger than my hand, but so I'm not used to it. I'm used to like these sketchbooks, like solid size sketchbooks, but here's more just body studies. Yeah, there's Paul McCartney. I was right. It's Paul McCartney. That model is also really cool, and that's a redraw of Heather. But yeah, I think my art has gotten a little bit better from being stiff, but I still can work on that. It's something that you can always work on. Oh my god, these were the little doodles I did for my story. There's Lindsay. There's Lindsay and her boyfriend. Look at them. Oh my god. There's me and C singing kiss songs to each other. I love that. Oh my god. And then there's Heather's cat, Cayenne. There's just a little random cat doodle. And then someone requested a pumpkin. So I a spooky pumpkin, or no, a screaming pumpkin, so there we go. There's a house by me that I sketched. There's a bit of my street. Here's another part of the street. This is like a, you know, sketchy, like just rah, rah, rah. I also really like this one, but this is supposed to be like the sun and the moon. Again, heads are too big, but I'm like, I'm figuring it out. I'm getting there. But I like this one. And then this is where I broke through. This is where I broke the art book. And guess what? Well, I mean, you obviously saw, but Cowboys. I love this one. It holds up so well. Oh, it's something about it. Like, oh, and I love this too. I love this outfit. And just Cowboys. Like, look at this. I know the head is too big for this, but it's like, this was the gouache style that I used for Cowboys. And I used that same pen from earlier, the really smooth one, to make it nice and easy. And then, oh my god, look at these. Like, look at these Cowboys. They look so cool. Like, look at that. This one is one of my favorites of this sketchbook, too. Because I love, like, the contrast and how, again, the contrast. I love the lines. I think the lines fit so with the style. Like, it's proportional, but it has, like, it fits the tone. It feels kind of grungy and dusty. Like, I feel like I would see Cowboy like this in the West, because they're not going to be very, like, clean shaven or anything like that. And it feels right. Oh, I love this one. That was Tabitha sitting on the couch, and I wanted to capture the moment, because I was like, she looks so cute just sitting on the couch. And sometimes I just say, sometimes I wish I was a Tabitha sitting on the couch. More Cowboys. I love this one too. I want to make a bigger version of it, but it's a cowboy on a horse. I love the little smoke I drew. Horse isn't the best, but it's still cute. Like, it's framed so perfectly, where it's like, I forget the composition style, but it's like one side is really, really heavy and one side is light. And I love how simplistic it looks. Like, it just, so good. So good. No, I need to draw Pedro Pascal soon. Let's see. This is me working on my side profiles and stuff. This is actually a skeleton I have hanging in my room. I have it hanging from my curtain. And I do also have a giant eyeball as well. And there's a Furby too. But yeah, that's honestly me. This is inspired by the song and I guess I just miss him. Yeah, ever since you cut your blue hair off, bum, bum, bum. You get the point. I forget who it's by. I guess I can put it right here, but oh, so good. But I don't like the drawing as much, but it was more like, oh, what happens. But it was more like, what happens. This one. I almost put this one on my wall. If I didn't have the other one, I would have put it on my wall. Oh my god. I love this cowboy drawing so much. Oh my god. Oh, there's something about it where I'm like, god damn. Oh, look at that. It's so fluid. It makes sense. All the cross-hatching. And it feels good. It feels smooth. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, they look so cute. I love how the colors line up, and it has the same color palette, and then it's like this contrast between like the cool but warm tone jacket, and then the warm belt, and the warm hat, and like the more warm mustache and lips, and the skin. Oh, and then the green in the back, but the green, like, it fades it perfectly and makes this pop out because the green is like desaturated enough. Love it. More Cowboys. Oh, that was This was when I was driving up to the Allstate Jazz Festival. That means there's something. I might have to censor. Okay. Oh yeah, there's my old art style. But this is another Cowboy I did on the way up. And then I did like little photosynthesis doodles. Yeah, because I spent a lot of time going up. And then this is a David Bowie study I did. I mean, it's getting closer to my painting style, but I liked it better at the time. I guess it will grow on me in the future, but I don't know. I'll give it time. It's just, it's weird. Cowboy. Cowboy, cowboy. I love cowboys. I love how simplistic they look, and it's just like, I love the fringy jackets too. Fringy jackets and the ties and those little handkerchiefs. I want to dress like that. I want to dress like that. Please. Okay, this is more censored stuff. So I'm gonna speed on by this. Oh, this page. I love this page. This is a gouache page that I did, as you can tell, and I love this gouache eye. I need to recreate this style more and just like, but with a full face. Because look at it, it's so detailed and it's so like, the brush strokes just know exactly where to be placed, and it makes sense. Because after this, my sketchbook goes a little haywire, but I also am going a little haywire, so we align. And yeah, I think this is supposed to be like Angel. And then this is probably the best front-facing Aladdin scene that I've done up to date. It looks very good, in my opinion. And it was, again, that more like strokey style, but also subconsciously strokey. So I understand like the strokes that I'm doing and where to place them. Except hair feels a little out of place, but besides that, I think it works well. More cowboys. Yeehaw. Yeehaw, motherfuckers. Fred. This was actually when me and Maddie were making the camp scare video. Yeah, so I was doodling. Well, we watched the camp scare video. I really like that one. That's like Fred in my style. I don't know, I love side profiles. These are more, this is more like anatomy I did while watching camp scare. I need to work on my anatomy still, but like stylized anatomy too. What is this? Oh, paint water is literally untouchable chocolate milk. I think I meant to say paint water is the most is forbidden chocolate milk, but oh yeah, I also got a Letterman leather from a swim banquet. That was weird. I don't know. I mean, I'm more art now, but for a while it was sports. But the only sport I would really do is swim. I like this one. Head is still too big. It's getting better, but this is a model from Pinterest, and it was like a model study, especially surrounding bodies and proportions. But let's see what this is. Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love this movie. You can see the poor failed side profile, but I love this movie, and I'm sorry Emma Watson, but I did you dirty. But oh my god. And I love Heroes, because Heroes is the perfect tunnel song. And at one point, I want to blast Heroes as I go like 80 miles down a highway with all the windows down on a nice warm summer night. That is all I ask for in life. As soon as I do that, it is complete. That's all I need. It's me blasting Heroes. Oh, such a good movie. One of my other favorite movies. I mean, I draw a lot of my favorite movies and stuff surrounding that because, I mean, this is my sketchbook and they are my interests. But, oh, so good. Oh, this is... I don't know, this is just me being like, oh, look at me. I don't know how to fill this part up. So I got gouache. I'm gonna use it. I did a lot of that. Let's see. Oh, this is where I kind of speed through a lot of it. Yeah, daily clown activities. Honestly, though, David Bowie inspired look, especially Ashes to Ashes. Oh, this was the week I had coffee ice cream, and I didn't know that, because I have had coffee and ice cream in the past that hasn't had caffeine in it, but this kind of coffee ice cream specifically had caffeine, so it was keeping me awake for nights on end, and so I would barely get any sleep, and so I'd just be so sleep deprived when it came to nighttime. But then I would have the coffee ice cream, and you know, the cycle would keep on going. That's the plant that I've been painting for class. Well, I mean, the painting is over. Maybe I'll show y'all my paintings afterwards. Not now, but you know, future video. More Cowboys. Ooh, and I finished a job interview. Oh yeah, and they want to hear back from me soon, but I have another job interview, so I have to decide that kind of stuff. Oh, this is Marlboro, dude. Again, there's no meaning behind this. I was like, I really just want to draw a cowboy smoking a cigarette. And so I did that. Because that's what I do. This is more like the abstract stuff. I get into a lot of abstract stuff here. But I love like the texture of gouache. Like, it's so cool. It looks wet, but it's not. I don't want to spend too much time looking at this, but because it brings back too many, like, it captures the feelings perfectly, but I don't know. I'm not in the space to deal with it right now. I like the side profile though. That one you can tell I'm just bored. Who is that? Oh, that's this study. And that's my rock and roll Madonna. I got my record. That was my Dex's Midnight Rise record. To Rye. I love that record. That's probably my favorite record currently because it has some of my favorite songs. And I know I got it for like $11, which is a little more expensive in my opinion. But oh my god, it's such a good record. It is such a good record. It's definitely more than $11, but I'm lucky I got it for 11. This is practice stuff. This is sketching practice for musical. It's the lead. We're doing Little Shop of Horrors. And so I was like, since we're getting, this week, the week of this coming out is Tech Week, I was like sketching during practice because they wanted us to watch through the show. So I'm like, you know what? Give it a chance to like practice it. So it's a lot of just like general stuff from practice. Like this is the scene with the dentist and just the gas. Some side profiles of different people. You know, studies. Oh, there's the dentist chair. We can be making notes on like these faces aren't accurate. I love this too because I originally 3 years ago I had this giant Little Shop obsession, which I still love Little Shop. It always holds a place in my heart, and so I love drawing like Audrey 2, and we have all these little different versions of Audrey 2. We have Audrey 1, Audrey 2, Audrey 3, and Audrey 4. And like Audrey 1 is like about that big, Audrey 2 is like this big, Audrey 3, and then Audrey 4. And then there's little Seymour. Look at Audrey go. Honestly, me. We got more failed David Bowie attempts, and I was getting tired. Oh, I eventually did the orange and blue combo. I was talking about this earlier, but there y'all go. I eventually did it. It took time. Cowboy. Yeehaw. Except I hate the face. So, fixed it. I don't know who's this supposed to be. I do not know. After Winter Percussion Show. I love this one. This is another like angel one. There's a lot of angel and imagery in the end of my sketchbook, but I love this one. And then, oh, this is, coffee ice cream incident. And then we have, just like that. More wings. Yeah, oh, look at this. even more wings. You can tell I'm a little fed up with my sketchbook by now. Oh yeah, I was driving home from winter percussion practice, and I saw someone standing by a street light like that, waiting to cross the street, and I just thought it looked so cinematic, so I wanted to just sketch it down. Maybe I'll draw it in the future more, but it looked cool, and I was like, huh, looks like something from a movie. Oh, yep. Nope, this is not Tech Week yet. You are not in Tech Week. There's more abstract stuff. If you like the abstract stuff, you can look at it a little longer, but I've already seen a lot of my fair share of abstract. Oh yeah, and this is printed on. I actually like these two, because this is another, like, right as it was drawing, I, like, pressed it on, but I like this one the best, though. I have these two. It's good old David Bowie. It's just a quick gouache practice. Pretty self-explanatory. This is actually my friend Lindsay showing off her new haircut. I love it. This is my favorite one of Lindsay. It's Lindsay lip biting. Shout out to you, Lindsay. Lip bite back at you. But I remember she sent a photo to the group chat, and I saw that photo, and I was like, oh my god, I need to draw her lip biting. I need to. And so I did it in charcoal. I can't. I give up. What if that was my last draw? What if that was my last draw? What if that was also my last draw? And I like, for some reason, this is like a 1 minute gouache sketch that I did before I had to go to musical practice, and I love it so much. There's something about it, ooh, hiccups, that it fits so well, and it's so simplistic, yet it has so many things, and I love it. Oh my god, I'm censoring this. Okay, this is Statue David, as you can tell. It's about how the Simpsons, like, there was that whole episode where they're like, oh, the kids should see Statue of David. And then I saw a thing about how conservatives are getting, like, annoyed about that now, and it's literally a Simpsons episode. This is satire at this point. So I was like, art in itself is a protest. Yeah, and this is more how I feel. Okay, this is a little letter I wrote to myself. You can read it if you want. But it's more like, I love life, which I do genuinely love life. Oh, this is, I guess a sketch of, I'm working on this oil painting for class that's a self-portrait, except I have to do it entirely from mirror, which is incredibly annoying, but so yeah, I'm trying to figure out the proportions, but yeah, I'm gonna say that's yawn number 9, but it doesn't quite look like me. Oh my god, I swear to fucking god, you will get context for this. Look at that go. This is another piece where I don't know, it's how I feel, and it perfectly describes how I feel. Okay, story time. Oh yeah, my finger isn't infected anymore. It's good, but so the person you're about to see, my god, I swear, this is like right after winter percussion, so I'll tell y'all a little story. There's like a very small chance they'll actually end up seeing this, and if they do end up seeing this, well, I'm going off to college anyways, and I am moving halfway across the country, so who cares? But so there's this person, I'm not gonna mention anything close to names or schools, but who's in the same like circuit as us in winter percussion, but they're a guard member because we have joint winter and guard shows together. And for a solid month, everybody in the battery would not stop talking about this person because they were very conventionally attractive, and you know me, I wanted to steal their bones, and I wanted their gender, and I wanted to use them as an art reference, which these photos, we got some photos professionally. All the schools had photos professionally taken and posted to a website, not revealing anything, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if there are any good art references. I know this is like the most artist thing to say, but I mean, this is another thing where it's like, hey, motivate you to find things you can draw to push yourself. And so there are a couple more pages of them in my sketchbook, but then earlier today, I actually got the courage to talk to them because it was finals. And so I'm like, you know what, it's gonna be the last chance to probably see them, besides maybe a choral exchange that we have in May, but that's like a month away, so but yeah, and then I talked to them. They were chill, but also like it was a very like high stress environment. But yeah, so I was, besides a certain person, which I will not name, I was the only person from my from the winter percussion to actually approach them. So that was a time, but I thought it was funny because they're in the sketchbook. But oh my god, they have a good side profile though. Again, very good side profile. Very good. And as you can see, it's like I couldn't quite get their face right, so I'm like trying to figure out the proportions. And look, very like fluid poses, especially with color guard. This one, I improved this in my other sketchbook, but it's so fluid. Like, look at that. And that is a good side profile, but it still doesn't look like them. And that's also, hands are too small. It's like a bunch of stuff. I actually ended up confusing the arm, so I already redid this one. Also that waist, like, too small. And then here are some of the poses from like the color guard stuff. Like, they're all so dynamic, especially like that line of action. Like, so highly recommend if you're like looking for dynamic poses, dancers and color guard people, like those types of performers. And then this is, I do not know how to pronounce this person's username because it's French, so I'll put it up here, but this is some of the photography and looks that they have done, and I was inspired to draw them because I'm like, oh my god, these are so cool. I want to do this. And then more color guard poses. This is just, I think this is another just random one. Eyeballs. I was getting really tired at this point, but it was like 1 a.m. But I'm like, you know what? I'm finishing the sketchbook. So I did like, this is like a 1-line challenge, which is pretty cool. I have to just cover up the sticker. And yeah, it's the end of the sketchbook. Woo! Hell yeah. But, here, I'll close it. But that was the sketchbook tour. Oh my god. That was a tour. But I'm just gonna keep it nice and short, sweet with the outro. Well, thank you for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed this. That was a very long video, so hopefully it's entertaining, and hopefully you got some inspo, because I definitely got some too, but it's too late at night to draw. I would like to say thank you for subscribing to the channel if you're already a subscriber. If you aren't subscribed already, which according to my analytics, 98% of y'all aren't, I would highly recommend subscribing, and you can join me within screaming into the void. And make sure to hit that like button. Comment anything about art. I just love hearing stuff about art. I don't care what it is, just anything. And yeah, time of recording is currently, it's 1:17 a.m. on a school night. It's technically Sunday, but it's now Monday, and I've been recording for 2.5 hours. This is like the length of a movie. This sketchbook took the length of a movie to show. That's just impressive. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Hope y'all are having a good day, good week, good life, good time, And I will see y'all next time with the next content. Goodbye.